Dr. K. Sendil Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Loganatha Narayanaswamy Government College, Ponneri, Chennai. He has done PhD in Material Science at Anna University, Chennai. He has 17 years of teaching experience. He has published 5 articles in national and international conferences and journals. He attended more than 14 conferences and workshops in all over India.
Welcome to UGC lecture series. Today's subject is quantum mechanics. In this session, we are going to see velocities of the de Broglie waves. So, objectives of this session is, first we will see what is phase velocity or wave velocity and group velocity, then derivation of this phase velocity and group velocity, then we will see relation between phase velocity and group velocity of a non-relativistic media, then finally we can see double slit experiment with electrons. Phase velocity. What is meant by phase velocity or a wave velocity? We know last class we have seen what is wave and wave packets. So, wave, anything which moves, that we call it as a wave. Here the particle move in a media, we call it as a wave. So, the velocity in which the particle moves, which we call it as wave velocity or particle velocity, which is denoted by the letter u and is given by the equation u is equal to c squared by v, given by the equation u is equal to c squared by v. So, this is the relation between the particle or wave velocity, velocity of light and the particle velocity. So, c velocity of light, v velocity of particle, then this u is wave velocity or phase velocity. That equation is easy to understand. What we infer from that equation, u is equal to c squared by v, u is the phase velocity or a wave velocity, c velocity of light, v particle velocity. So, this phase velocity is not only greater than the velocity of light, but also greater than the velocity of particle. But this phase velocity not at all should not be greater than the velocity of light. That will not happen, that will never happen in the nature. So, this particle phase or wave velocity is insignificant one. That is why we have to go for group velocity. What is group velocity? How we have seen a phase velocity or wave velocity? The velocity in which wave travels, which we call it as a wave velocity or phase velocity. Similarly, we can define group velocity, the velocity in which the group of waves move, then we call it as move or travels, then we call it as group velocity. So, how we have form a group? I can tell you the example for this group velocity and particle or wave velocity. We know we have seen marathon race. In a marathon race is a long distance race. In a long distance race, the participant number of participants will be more, not like a 100-meter race or 1000-meter race or 1500-meter race. That may be in terms of kilometer. That also there is no time limit, that we call it as a marathon race. So, number of participants will be more. Initially when they start, all the participants move slowly. So, now here we consider each participant we consider as a single wave train or wave. So, each participant velocity we call it as wave velocity. Similarly, the group contains so many number of people, participants. So, each may travel in different speed or velocity. So, the group velocity mainly depends on individual wave velocity. So, from this we can define what is meant by group velocity. Matter wave is regarded as a resultant of superposition of large number of component waves all travelling with different velocities. The resultant, that is each and every one travel in different velocity, the resultant of all in a group which travels in particular velocity, which is known as group velocity. The group velocity is represented by the letter Vg. Group velocity is represented by the letter V suffix g. G represents group, V represents velocity. Now, let us derive this phase velocity or wave velocity. Similarly, after this we shall derive group velocity. So, derivation of phase velocity. From Planck's equation we know we can write E is equal to h nu, then nu is equal to E by h. Similarly, from Einstein's mass energy relation we can write E is equal to mc squared, then nu is equal to mc squared by h. In this one E we have substituted as mc squared, so nu is equal to mc squared by h. Then de Broglie wave velocity u is given by u is equal to nu lambda. This is from the standard relation, nu is equal to c by lambda. So, velocity is equal to frequency into wavelength. So, this frequency we have got here mc squared by h, and de Broglie's wavelength we know h by mv, that is h by p. P is a momentum, momentum is replaced by m into v. So, mc squared by h into h by mv. So, simplifying we get u is equal to c squared by v. So, this E is called phase velocity or wave velocity that we have seen already. Similarly, we can derive group velocity. To derive the group velocity is not difficult if we know each and every wave velocity in a group. So, it is not difficult to compute the velocity u in which a wave group travels. Let us suppose that a wave group arises from the combination of two waves with the same amplitude A, but differ by an amount d omega, that is angular frequency, and an amount dk, that is propagation vector, or we used to say wave vector. See this diagram, superposition of two or more wave trains. This is one wave train, have some velocity and wavelength, then frequency, similarly another wave. So, these two waves superimpose to get wave packet. This is, we call it as a wave packet or group. The wave packet means the group of waves which differs the wavelength velocity. It is not necessarily the velocity and wavelength of each and every wave should be same in the group or wave packet. Now, let us derive the group velocity. We may represent the original waves by the formula y1 is equal to a cos omega t minus kx, y2 is equal to a cos of omega plus d omega into t minus k plus dk into x. I will explain this. Y1 is the displacement of the first wave, a is the amplitude, omega is the angular frequency, t is the time, k is the propagation vector, x is the position. Now, I can explain this from the diagram. So, this is y1 we have seen, the displacement of first wave, then the displacement of second wave, then the resultant wave, that is a group wave y is equal to y1 plus y2. So, omega is the angular frequency of the first wave, then k is the propagation vector of the first wave. Similarly, omega plus d omega is the angular frequency of the second wave, then k plus dk is the propagation wave vector of the second wave. But when we compare with omega, this d omega is very small, but we consider the small amount is more than this first wave. So, we have got the resultant displacement y is equal to y1 plus y2. So, the resultant displacement y at any time t and position x is the sum of y1 and y2 with the help of identity. What is this identity? We know that we have studied in trigonometry in the lower classes, that is the formulas. Cos a plus b is equal to 2 cos a plus b by 2 into cos a minus b by 2. Similarly, we know cos of minus theta is equal to cos theta. We use these two trigonometric relation to simplify the above equations. So, we find that y1 plus y2, two values here. So, 2a cos of 2 omega plus d omega into t minus 2k plus dk into x divided by 2 into cos of d omega t minus dk x divided by 2. Since d omega and dk are very small quantities compared with omega and k respectively, so 2 omega plus d omega can be considered as 2 omega, that is 2 omega plus d omega is approximately is equal to 2 omega. Similarly, 2k plus dk is approximately is equal to 2k. So, here you substitute 2 omega, here you substitute 2k, then simplifying we get y is equal to 2a cos omega t minus ks into cos of d omega by 2 into t minus dk by 2 into x. The above equation represents a wave of angular frequency omega and propagation vector k that has superimposed with a wave of angular frequency of d omega. Similarly, a wave of propagation vector of dk. So, the effect of modulation is to produce successive groups as shown in figure. The wave or phase velocity u is equal to omega by k, then the group velocity is equal to is given by Vg is equal to d omega by dk. Now, we arrive this equation by means of this derivation. In general, depending on the manner in which wave velocity varies wavelength in a particular medium, the group velocity may be greater than or less than the wave velocity. If the wave velocity u is the same for all wavelengths or wave trains, the group and wave velocities are same. This is also can be easily explained by means of the example which I have given earlier, say marathon race. For all the participants going in the same speed, then what will be the velocity? Individual wave train, that is individual participant velocity, is also equal to the group velocity, the group of people's velocity. So, if each and every single wave trains in the wave group velocity is same, then the group velocity is always equal to the wave velocity. Now, let us define and derive this frequency omega we find out. So, omega is equal to 2 pi nu, we know omega is a angular frequency. How we say omega is a angular frequency? We know the general equation omega is equal to 2 pi by t. What is this 2 pi by t? You consider a particle, this particle is moving in a circle. So, angle of circle is 360 degree. So, 2 into 180 degree is a 360 degree. The time taken to travel this particle to round the circle is capital T. So, 2 pi by t. So, 2 pi by t is equal to 2 pi nu, because 1 by t, the number of cycles per second, is equal to the frequency. So, 2 pi nu. So, omega is equal to 2 pi nu. So, nu is equal to E by h from Planck's equation. Then 2 pi by h, E is equal to mc squared from mass energy relation, Einstein's mass energy relation. Then 2 pi by h, c squared is common, m is replaced by m naught divided by square root of 1 minus v squared by c squared. This is from theory of relativity. Similarly, we can find propagation vector k. K is equal to 2 pi by lambda. Lambda is the wavelength of the wave propagated. So, 2 pi lambda we know de Broglie's wavelength lambda is equal to h by p. So, h by p, p is momentum, instead of momentum we can write mv, that is mass into velocity. So, again 2 pi and v, 2 pi v is common, m is replaced by m naught divided by h into square root of 1 minus v squared by c squared. This is from theory of relativity. So, we have found omega and k. Omega is a angular frequency of a wave, k is a propagation vector of a wave. So, if you substitute from the above equation to our original equation, the particle velocity u is equal to omega by k, then if we substitute and simplify, we get the value c squared by v. U is equal to omega by k, substitute omega value and k value, we get c squared by v, which exceeds both the velocity of the body v and velocity of the light c, since v is less than c. Similarly, we can derive the group velocity. The group velocity, we know we have denoted the letter Vg associated with the body. So, Vg is equal to d omega by dk. So, we know we have derived omega value and k value. If we know omega value and k value, we can easily get d omega by dv and dk by dv, that is just a differentiation with respect to v. So, d omega by dv and dk by dv. So, here d omega by dv, dk by dv you substitute and simplify. After simplification, we get u is equal to Vg. So, the wave or particle velocity is equal to the group velocity. So, what we have assumed previously, I have told you with the example of marathon race. Now, we have arrived quantitatively in the derivation, that is u is equal to Vg. So, the de Broglie wave group associated with a moving body travels with the same velocity as that of body. The velocity u of the de Broglie waves evidently has no physical significance in itself. So, we have gone for group velocity. From this result, it follows that a material particle is in motion is equivalent to group waves or wave packet. But a serious difficulty at once arises against the concept of wave packet, since a wave packet is in general very soon dissipated. For example, if we produce a wave crest at any point on a smooth surface of water, it spreads out and it dissipates in a very short time, that we can see easily from this diagram. See here. So, in a pond or in a vessel contains water, you put any particle. So, in physics we are supposed to say particle, here you drop a stone. So, what will happen? You can see the wave formation in the water surface. That wave formation in terms of physics, optical phenomena, we can say crest and trough on the wave water. So, this 1, 2, 3, 4 so many waves. So, this group of waves we got it as a wave group or wave packet. So, what you drop is a stone that we consider here as a particle. These each and every wave superimposed together. So, collectively we can say it is a group of wave. So, what we are going to conclude from this diagram? So, what we drop a stone that we consider as a particle. So, the particle is important in a wave packet because wave packet is apparent one, it is disappeared, it will not be permanent, whereas the particle, the stone is a permanent. So, we consider always a particle velocity instead of wave group velocity, that is from the wave packet. Thus, a material particle is considered to be a wave packet and it is described by Schrodinger's wave equation. This is the important equation in quantum mechanics. In the future session, we will see this type of Schrodinger equation and all. Now, let us see the relation between phase and group velocity for a non-relativistic free particle. Let u be the phase velocity or wave velocity, Vg be the group velocity for a non-relativistic free particle of mass m. If lambda is the de Broglie wavelength and nu is the frequency of the wave, the phase velocity u is equal to nu lambda. From de Broglie wavelength, lambda is equal to h by mv we know. Then the kinetic energy we know E is equal to half mv squared. From Planck's law, E is equal to h nu, then nu is equal to E by h, then half mv squared h we have seen. So, substitute the value of lambda and nu, we get u is equal to half mv squared h into h by mv. So, h and h gets cancelled. So, remaining mv and mv squared. So, 1 v gets cancelled. So, u is equal to 1 by 2 v. Here v we have taken as vg. So, E is equal to half vg. What is the relation indicates that? This is the relation between phase velocity u and the group velocity vg for non-relativistic free particle. Thus, for a non-relativistic free particle, the phase velocity u is half of the group velocity. Next we will see double slit experiment. Actually, we have double slit experiment in terms of electrons, that is with the electrons. But before studying double slit experiment with the electrons, we supposed to know the concept of double slit experiment with waves. Now, let us see the diagram. This is a wave coming from the source. A source is a monochromatic source, maybe a sodium vapor lamp, so that emits lights. Then this too called as a slit. Slit means small opening or aperture. When this light waves travels through these two slits 1 and 2, so what we are getting? So, this also travels in terms of waves and crests. Here also we have in terms of waves and crests. So, the wave through the slit 1, the wave through the slit 2 superimpose with each other and we get interference pattern on the screen. So, this is alternate dark and bright bands. This m is equal to 0, we call it as a central maxima. This is in one side first order minima, maxima, minima, maxima. What we used to say, if there is a constructive interference, this type of white color fringes will be observed. If there is a destructive interference, this type of black color fringes will be observed. So, we get alternatively dark and bright fringes when we use waves. Similarly, if we use electrons, in terms of waves, we have taken monochromatic light as a source, example sodium vapor lamp. Here our source will be a electron gun. So, how electron travels, we can also say some easy example, the electron movement, the bullet from the gun, how the gun comes from the bullet. Similarly, the electron strains, that is number of electrons comes from the electron gun. So, what happens when we use electrons instead of waves? The similar interference pattern we also obtain. Now, let us see in detail with the use of the schematic diagram. See, this is a electron gun, this is one slit, this is another slit. So, double slit experiment. Here we have a detector, this will detect the electron coming out from the slit 1 or slit 2. Then we have a backstop, that is a plate. So, detector detects these two electrons. So, here what is P1 and what is P2? What is psi 1 and what is psi 2? Psi 1 is the wave function of the electron coming from the slit 1. Psi 2 is the wave function of electron coming from the slit 2. This P1, this is the probability of this electron's wave function from the slit 1, P2 similarly from slit 2. Here we can see in detail. So, electron gun emits the electron. So, from first slit we get, from second slit also we get. But what will happen if either one of the slit is in half condition? That means, if we close slit 1, we get electron only from this one. Similarly, we close this slit 2, we get only electron from the slit 1. So, if either one we close, but it is not very easy to identify the electrons collected by means of detector coming from the slit 1 or slit 2. So, the same pattern will be observed, but the output will be very low. So, we have to use both the slits, but electrons at a time will come through any one and the detector detect only from any one of the slit, but the condition is those two slits should be opened, should not be closed. So, probability for the first electron, probability for the second electron. What I mean here as a first electron? Electron from the slit 1 is a first electron, electron from the slit 2 is a second electron. So, interfere with each other. This electron here we are saying in terms of particle nature. Previously we have seen double slit experiment in terms of waves, which explains the wave nature. So, dual nature of light, one is a wave nature, another one is a particle nature. Double slit experiment with electron is a electron nature, double slit experiment with wave is a wave nature, but the observation both outputs are same. Just like waves, we cannot just add up the intensities, add the wave amplitudes. Psi 1 2 is equal to psi 1 plus psi 2. The probability is the square of the sum P 1 2 is equal to modulus psi 1 2 squared is equal to modulus of psi 1 plus psi 2 the whole squared, that is equal to modulus psi 1 squared plus modulus psi 2 squared plus 2 psi 1 into psi 2 star. This psi star what indicates is a complex conjugation. Complex conjugation we know. If it is e power I theta, we used to expand e power I theta is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. If we have to take a conjugate, the term I term should be a negative one, that is called complex conjugate. Similarly, based on these two equations, in the next session let us derive what is the probability amplitude of this double slit experiment with electrons. Now, let us conclude what are the topics we have seen in this session. First, we have seen phase velocity or wave velocity, then we had derived the equation for phase velocity, then we have seen what is a group velocity, then what is the importance of group velocity. These two derivation we have derived from the wave packet. So, we have seen wave packet also, the importance of wave packet, we have derived group velocity, and then we have seen why the particle velocity is important than the group velocity or a wave packet, because wave packet is a apparent one that will be dissipated, it is not a permanent one, whereas the particle is a permanent one. So, we consider as a particle. So, this is exactly quantitatively arrived by Schrodinger in terms of Schrodinger wave equation. Then we have seen in non-relativistic media what is the relation between phase velocity and group velocity. Then finally, we have seen double slit experiment in terms of waves and in terms of electrons, but we have not calculated the probability terms and wave amplitude terms, that we will see in the next session. Now, let us see what are the questions can be discussed from this session, what we have seen in this session. Define phase velocity, define group velocity, write the expression for phase velocity and group velocity, then narrate the relation between phase velocity and group velocity for non-relativistic media. Then finally, there may be a question, explain with the diagram double slit experiment with the electrons. Rest of the topics in this unit we will see in the next session. Thank you for your kind attention.